in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC does not imply a certain level of skill or training. The guys are here. Clint Smith, Galen, Bargerstock. It's time.
GCES.
Let's talk a little retirement savings with the gentleman who, congratulations, once again, the Best of Indiana County contest comes out, and you guys are right there at the top of it. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Good to have you both with us. If you do land as the Best of, obviously people are taking notice of the fact that you're effectively helping them to prepare for what is a very, very scary thing in the lives of a lot of people. A, I'm giving up my work life and that regular paycheck coming in, especially at the level that I considered it to be comfortable enough for me. B, what do I do with myself now?
Yeah.
You help people to figure that out.
Yeah.
And so the Best of designation, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, 3 years ago, we got it for the first time. So we have been voted the best financial planner in Indiana County 3 years in a row now, which is exciting because, it's no surprise. We've talked about it before. We worked a lot with federal employees. That's where we started in this business. And we worked over 13, 19, and now at this point, we're over like 36, 40 states that we work in. So not a ton of our business always came from Indiana because we were primarily working with federal employees. But once we got voted the best financial planner in Indiana, we decided to open up our doors. That's when we changed our name from Government and Civil Employee Services to GCES. And it made sense because we were at that point, in growing our company. And we've been working with families this entire time because we work with federal employees. We don't just explain what the one federal employee has. We explain what the spouse has too. And that's the way it works with everyone. It's a group collective effort for retirement. So that's one of the things that, if we're talking about retirement, is really looking at it as a whole. If you're single, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. You might have dependents too. That's another, variation of the norm, where you might have a disabled adult child that you take care of. There are different ways and different things. Everyone's retirement looks different. I think that's why we've been so successful, because we do take a personalized approach. Although it's like the 3,000th time we've done the same meeting with people, it's the first time they're doing it with us.
Yeah. Galen, he said something key there, and I think the personalized approach is really, really important to be able to sit down, get to know the person, not only what he or she is thinking about in terms of retirement, not only dispelling some myths or some difficulties they might have conceiving exactly what retirement is all about, but just getting to know what it is that their goals in life are from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's also like the customer service thing that we won, because that was kind of shocking to me that we got customer service. I'm like, okay. But that's all it is. It's customer service. It's listening to everything that you're telling me, what you want to accomplish, and then I throw in what actually can be done by the different products that are available to a person. So what Clinton was saying about being in other states, well, I hear so many times, and it's kind of shocking to me, that the radio show that we do is more popular than the TV show that we do because it has more traction in like Wisconsin. So somebody in Wisconsin is listening to us right now, even with the time change, which is kind of weird. They're getting ready for work, going about their day.
Tell me about translating what people are telling you in that meeting, translating that into an actionable plan. It's a process, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we have to find out pretty much the bottom basics, all the little foundations of what you have going on. Your savings accounts, your 401ks, how much investments, but also your money spending patterns is very important to me. What are you spending your money on? Do you have a mortgage? Do you want to pay that mortgage off? I am hit with some of the biggest questions are, do I pay my mortgage off? Can I remodel my kitchen? I'm going to buy a new car. These are all very normal things that you're going to think about into retirement. So once I get the big picture bubble, the what I call the bread and butter payments, your pension, your Social Security money coming in, then we know how much to pull from investments, how much is disposable. I have so many people that are driving around cars that are 15 years old, 20 years old, and they're happy with them. They like them. but they have enough money that they could be driving a brand new car and not even skip a beat. So it's just really the understanding about the money.
When it comes down to it, it's a financial analysis is what he does. He just covered 500 different things that he's going to put in.
Right.
But whenever he sits down, we have software, we're like riding the edge of technology here. And Galen will put in, he'll ask you questions for about an hour and a half that will cover all of those things. Like how much do you owe on your house? How much do you have in savings? How much do you have in your investments? And then once that's all done, I like to say that Galen does all the magic, but the computer software does most of it. And it prints out this 56 page.
It doesn't work like that.
It'll print out this huge report that tells you everything that goes on that you have in your retirement, because there are different things that are going to pay you at different times and different stages throughout your life. And he can put that all in there, and it all figures it out for you. Hey, at this age, in 2 years, you're going to make this much money. Or, hey, in 5 years, you're going to make this much money from everything. And, hey, by the way, 2 years after that, you're going to make more from Social Security. So it's really fact-finding and asking questions about people. But honestly, we all have the same issues. We all have different things. It's just the numbers are different, where the numbers are different. And Galen can put it all together in a pretty little picture.
One of the things that Galen just said was about car. The average car in America has been on the road for 12 years. People hold on to their cars because they figure once I get it paid off, I just don't want a car payment for a while. And we understand that. You know, those are personal decisions people make. This is what I wanted to ask you about today, though. And somebody asked me this in light of our last conversation where we were talking about people who say that I don't have enough money to even consider a retirement plan, those sorts of things. How much money is too little money? I believe this is the way that we phrased it last time. What are the roadblocks, Clinton, that folks still cannot overcome to get them to sit down with a retirement planner? I'm sure that there are certain things you run into all the time that people say, this is why, maybe one day I'll come see GCES, but this is why I can't do it now.
Their best friend just quit their job of 30 years working somewhere and decided to become a financial advisor would be the most common one that I see.
Oh, yeah.
Friends and family is a huge one that we see. No matter what, if Galen sits down with someone and he shows them, hey, listen, this is what I can do for you. It's going to be better than what you're in, which he has a fiduciary responsibility to do that. So when we sit down with people, we're proving that we're fixing whatever they're in or making whatever they're in better, right? So when you go with friends and family, though, you are literally just choosing whatever that person that's new in the industry wants to sell you or has access to. So I would say that's the number one problem that we run into, where no matter what, even if the plan is perfect, we're not going to be able to help the person because they're loyal to that friend or family. We hear my nephew, my uncle, my cousin. You just ran into somebody last week that, makes their choice based off of it being their friend.
Yeah, well, somebody wanted to use their brother instead of me. How could I be offended at that? I mean, it's a brother.
Sure.
Yeah. It's little stuff like that. But, what Clinton's saying is completely right. Friends and family, people, there's a whole big insurance company. I'm not going to call them out on air. But that is their motto, bring in your friends and family. And then if you don't succeed, you're gone. So it is a very big thing. And it's friends and family are, you can talk to them about these kind of things sometimes, because a lot of times families don't want to talk about money because it will bring up some bad things. So then there's the opposite. You don't want a friend and family, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all over the page, but at the end of the day, it's the extension of who you're working for that brings in those friends and family to know whether the plan is done properly.
After that, also not having money.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, what is the minimum that you have to have in order to go into a company?
Well, an insurance company is usually $10,000, but you don't want to lock up your money in an annuity for $10,000 because then you have a liquidity issue. So, one of the things that I've always done with opening up a new account is I don't care how much money you have when you open an account. I can't do certain trades until you hit a certain volume level and then start putting you in the market more and more. But if you want to open up a cash account with $50, go for it. I'm not going to discourage anybody from starting at any level. I think any amount of money that you start putting away is the starting point of where you're going to start to put into that savings. So $25, just start.
Is this a concern that people have? I'm too old now to start retirement savings. I didn't do it when I was younger. Now I've reached this stage. Retirement is not that far off. there's no sense me starting now.
Yeah, people are set in their ways. Some people don't want to change the way that they have been their entire life if they could make it better or if they could double their returns. Some people like the safety of just knowing that, hey, I'm with this bank. I know I'm getting this CD rate. CD rates are great now. Probably in 3 years they won't be as high. Who knows? But that's just the reality of everything. Is it's a complacent approach that people usually have to their retirement. They think they're okay. But the reality is we live in America, and there's always some company trying to do something better for another person. Mm-hmm. So you should always be examining, is this where I should be right now today? Did something better come along? Because if something better did come along, which it did, you should take advantage of it.
Yeah. So I guess I'm too old to start retirement savings is one thing. I'm sure there are plenty of people who say I'm too young. That's something down the road. I don't have to think about that now.
Yeah. We want to hit you right in that sweet spot, right in between both of those things. You know, there are a lot of, there are definitely people that their whole entire life, they do not save any money. They don't put anything aside. And when they get there, they have Social Security. That's all that they're going to have in retirement. So those people that have not really invested or saved money over their life, they still have Social Security to fall back on, which is a form of social insurance. It's the same thing as what we do. It's insurance that you buy throughout your entire life. And it's there for us to not, so that society can have that protection, hence Social Security.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I'm sure as well that when we have those two extremes, I'm too young or I'm too old, there are plenty of people probably who have saved for all their lives and have all kinds of different accounts and don't even know it yet. But they haven't taken that final step of, okay, here's the plan. When I retire, this is the way I'm going to use the assets that I built.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people are afraid to know what the outcome is because they fear that it's going to be a negative, thing that's going to come at them. So it's just like human nature. I don't want one more negative thing coming down to, tell me what I need to do. I already know that I don't have enough saved, but the reality is you probably do, and people that are only relying on Social Security, there are ways out there that instead of, physically working to the bone, that you could put a little bit money in savings and let the money make money for you. And, that's what it's all about. It's about taking a little bit of the load off of you that you're working your butt off to do and placing it on the money and let the money do its thing. There's so many things out there.
Yeah. All right. So all of that as the backdrop. Somebody wants to get started and says, okay, you guys have convinced me. I need to do something now for retirement savings. What do they do?
Give us a call, 724-915-0000. We can answer your questions, set you up with an appointment. You can come to our office on Philadelphia Street. We can meet with you on Zoom. Or, if you're listening to this, we work in your area. We can come right out to your house and sit down with you. It just may take some little extra planning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. And Galen, of course radio is the way that people want to go. What are you talking about?
I like it.
It's Indiana in the Morning. It's WCCS. Those are the guys from GCES.
This is Linnell Willingham with the Sports Minute. The growing debate around whether or not to play your starters in the preseason continues this year. Despite that, we've had major injuries during practice. On Sunday night, the Eagles had their starting guard, Landon Dickerson, carted off. So what are we supposed to do now? Not practice? You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm all for playing guys in the preseason. I'm Linnell Willingham.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by.